Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our first Chanuka Chat 2022, where we are joined by one of our advisors here at SOMO Africa, Althea, who will be giving us a chat about pitching to investors. I'm also joined by one of our colleagues, Jacob, who is also going to introduce himself thereafter through the baton towards Althea so that she can start us off. Jacob.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone. Good afternoon once again. Okay, my name is Jacob Odindo. I'm a trainer at SOMO, and I'm so glad to be in this chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jacob. Althea, go ahead.
Great. Thank you so much, Sally and Jacob. New faces for me anyway in SOMO. Welcome, and thank you very much for inviting me. As you mentioned, I have been with SOMO for some years now, primarily as an entrepreneur judge. I think, unfortunately, the COVID has meant that for the last couple of years, I've not actually come into Kibera, but I think I have done a couple of the judgings online. But I'm still very happy to be supporting SOMO and very happy to be participating here with you all. Thank you.
We are going to be asking you a few questions. Then you can share your responses as well as sharing your screen with any content that you have, and we will be really grateful to hear from you. So as we are all aware, we have two major pitch days that happens week 6 and week 12. Week 6 is the first pitch that the entrepreneurs do just to gauge themselves as they pitch about their businesses. Then afterwards, week 12, which is the last pitch that they do to external judges, which allows us to identify those who are eligible for an investment or not. So today, Althea is going to give us a briefing, or rather just a chat around what pitching entails and all of that. So perhaps you can tell us what are consistent observations you've made in the pitch competitions you've attended.
Right, okay, thanks. Generally, they've been very interesting, a lot of ideas, a lot of good ideas, a lot of passionate entrepreneurs, looking at their environments, thinking about where they've come from, and, you know, looking to fill gaps. So generally, it's been the entrepreneurs have been very positive and, as I say, very insightful. What I would say is that at times I would have liked to see that they spent a little bit more time developing their products from the point of view of research. So truly going into more depth in terms of what they see their market is, what they see their environment is. I would also like to see them think big. You know, at times, as I say, I have seen products and services where I feel could be very much expanded and could be targeted to a much wider audience than at times some of our entrepreneurs feel. Now, this is not to say that they're being unrealistic, because of course you will start small and, you know, grow as time goes by and as you get into your market. But I have a research and a strategic development background, and basically that's what I would like to see a little bit more of. In other words, them looking and seeing how far they can push their products, but from a premise of understanding, truly getting into their markets and understanding, you know, who their target markets are and how large their potential markets can be. And that R&D element, I feel, is quite important, particularly, you know, with a number of the products that we have seen. They're creative, yeah. They have seen gaps in their market, but it's important to understand that the gaps may also be filled, for example, by alternative products. It's also important for them to understand that, you know, that there is now in today's world access to many alternative products and services. Yeah, so to me, that is the only drawback that I have seen. You know, when entrepreneurs are actually pitching. Yeah, I would like just to see a little more depth in their research and their understanding of their market. But in terms of the products, in terms of the services, they are passionate about them, and they have, you know, correctly explored a gap generally.
I think that's something we try and always emphasize to our entrepreneurs about: research, and knowing their market. So thank you for bringing that into the light. So yeah, so the next question, and I believe you will share your screen, is what are the elements an entrepreneur should never miss when pitching to investors?
First thing I really wanted us to look at, you know, you as an investor, you as with having your product, what does an investor, as an entrepreneur, what does an investor actually want to see? What are they looking for? And they're looking at you. They're looking at you as the person. Yeah, and that's very, very important. At the same time, of course, they're looking for critical details, but primarily they actually are looking at you. Who is the person that they're investing in? And particularly when with our entrepreneurs, we generally tend to be smaller, and we generally tend to be starting out. So who you are is critical. Details, the product, the service, your market, who your consumers are, you know, the organization behind you, numbers, your financials, of course, your environment, your unique selling proposition, and, you know, future prospects for growth, because at the end of the day, we are still talking about investors. I like this picture because this is a lady. Her name is Bethlehem Tilham, and she is an Ethiopian entrepreneur, and her story is very impressive. And in fact, it's a similar story to many of you all. She started in Ethiopia making leather shoes, and she saw an opportunity and she started to sell internationally. Today, she's a millionaire. And as I say, she's had a very basic story and a very basic beginning. So that's the reason why I like and I use this picture. One of the days it's going to be one of the SOMOs. Yeah, a SOMO entrepreneur. So I'm waiting very patiently to change it. Yeah. By the way, I opened up my Instagram yesterday or the day before, and I saw a lot of very interesting ideas from SOMO entrepreneurs. The use of hyacinth in Kisumu, and you know, the lake is a menace. Being able to find solutions to that is a fantastic idea. I saw, what was it, solar freezers, another fantastic idea. We're in Africa, we have sunshine, we have limited electricity. Why not have use solar to cool our foods and the likes? Yeah. Then there were sandals. So, I mean, we already have SOMO entrepreneurs with very good ideas. But of course, it's not just you, it is also your experience. Yeah? Investors want to see that the people they're investing in actually have some experience and some knowledge about the products and services that they are promoting. Yeah? They also want to bond with you, and that's what we call our emotional connection. They want to know who you are, and they want to feel that, you know, they can trust you and that they will get on with you. Now, I'm not talking about every investor. Yeah, I'm talking about some investors because, of course, you've got a number of different levels of investor. So, and a number of different types of investors. So, basically, you know, they want to see that most will want to see that you are a person that they can believe in, and they will therefore believe in your product. And of course, finally, you must have a passion and determination and patience. Now, when I'm talking about, you know, entrepreneurs in this way, we are not just talking about getting rich quick. And again, that's something I should say that I like about the SOMO project, as well as the SOMO entrepreneurs. I think there is an understanding of that. What we've seen is, if we think about history, if we think about history, we have Kenyan history, for example. You know, our independence brought about a significant opportunity for a number of people within that era to develop new businesses. So to the Africanization of the country and of the continent. So there was an opportunity that meant perhaps you could create a business and that business would do well fairly quickly. Then we've also had the technology boom, and this is not just in the West, but of course this is also Africa. So it has given us another opportunity to to develop businesses fairly quickly. These are perhaps in a minority as opposed to the general. Overall, what it takes for businesses to develop is time, is patience, is determination, and is passion. Looking a little bit more closely at this, I've said you. How do you get along with the person? Is there trust? Is there confidence? Yeah. I've said about your focus. Are you focused on building the business? Yeah. And at times when we talk about that focus, people try to develop businesses with doing other things. So for example, you may be in full-time employment, yeah, and you're still trying to develop your business. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, because the bottom line of that is that you actually need to have an income. And if that's the only way you can do it, that's the only way you can do it. However, an investor still wants to see that you actually are focused, yeah? Because you are the person that is driving the business. So you have to be there. Somehow you have to be there. So an investor wants to know and wants to see that you're focused on your business. An investor wants to understand what you understand about the business, yeah, business acumen. Are you able to build? Are you able to sustain your business? Do you actually have true product knowledge? And that goes back to what I was saying about the, you know, an investor actually looking and seeing that you actually have some knowledge and you are able to generate that business. Now, I hope that I've answered some of those questions. And if you have any questions on top of that, just of course, let me know.
Amazing. Jacob, do you have any question?
No question at the moment. I'm just so excited about the response. Yeah.
I know that was beyond. Thank you for that.